pop in before the episode begins and give a small warning for the echo in the beginning. It's not majorly impactful, but it is minorly annoying. It fixes itself around 15 minutes, so just hang tight. Also, Dungeons, Dragons, and Dice Children of the Stars is rife with mature themes and body horror. These and other content warnings can be found in the episode description.
For what? Bam, 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 bam.
Okay. Hey everybody, welcome back to Dungeons, Dragons, and Dice, our little interlude campaign here, Children of the Stars. We're doing a little Monster of the Week interlude before we begin our Season 2. I am M. Williams, and I'm playing Dr. Strahd von Acula, a chiropractor. He's a doctor in this city? Is this a city?
Hive City,
what's
yes.
Hive City? In this Hive City.
Population 13 billion.
Yeah, okay, huge. He is a private chiropractor for the wealthy, and it's sort of an energy vampire. Gets his sucks from touch. I don't know the right word.
I was you put that, but yeah, kinda. I guess.
Yeah.
Hell demon. So I mean,
He gets his sucks from touch. There we go. That is what I will say and how I will say it.
Double down on that.
Canonically.
Yeah. Cool. Let's see. An interesting fact about Dr. Acula, he has dealt with a lot of very, very wealthy, like the 1% of the 1%, because he doesn't like being seen a lot. We talked about in episode 1 how he really can't be seen by certain people because he'll be arrested just for who he is. So he does 1% of the 1%, the wealthy. One time he had a very exclusive massage booked with the top 1%, Mr. Blood. He went out, Zerulean Blood. He went out to Blood's ship. He got the whole treatment and gave him a back massage. This is one of the rare cases in which he did not steal health because he always does that. That's bullshit. That's how he feeds. Yeah, deep tissue massage Zerulean Blood, steal a couple health points from him. He's, weaker for a few days, but you always are after deep tissue massage.
Zerulean Blood, of course, being a rogue trader in parlance of the space. In the parlance of space.
In the parlance, rogue trader. Yes. Very rich, very wealthy.
As they often are. Independent. If you can be independent in the 41st millennium, you could make infinite money.
Okay. Well, I am that, at least. I think I am.
Yeah, more or less. Nobody's holding you down yet.
That's true.
Hey everyone, my name is Gabe Stringer, and I'm playing D.O.G 24601, Designate Dog, solver of bread crimes, haver of a robot dog body. Fun fact about D.O.G, I'm considering giving him a southern accent.
Like a glass onion?
Yes, exactly. I'm just a humble mutt what solves bread crimes.
You are literally taking my next character's accent from me at this moment. I have been practicing my southern accent for Haribo Tamagotchi. That's funny.
Oh no, this is great because I can get it out of my system and then I never have to do one during my campaign.
What's your fun fact?
Yeah, that's not a fun fact.
That was a fun fact.
It's pretty fun.
You're thinking about giving him a southern accent? Come on.
Oh, now he does.
He's from the South.
He's from the South. He's from the Southern Hive City. Yes, got it.
Hello, Earth. My name's Dante. I play Alice Bohomme. She is the divine playbook. And fun fact, her favorite fruit is bright red apples. And she hates the Emperor, but only pretends to love him.
Whoa, what a twist.
Because she loves to slay monsters more than she loves the Emperor. So,
honestly, I think the church would still be perfectly accepting of that. Because you may not show your love for the Emperor with your words, but anytime you're slaying the unclean, you are showing fealty to the Emperor.
Indeed, Alice is incredibly based.
Based and red-pilled.
Alrighty, my name is Grace Stringer, a long-time listener, first-time player, and I'll be playing Vernon Bradley, a gumshoe, just a normal human man Vern's fun fact is he hasn't had his first kiss yet. He almost gave it away to Abigail St. Clair in the 7th grade, but then she went to the space dance with the bad boy, and he never recovered emotionally. So
I wouldn't either.
Girl was stolen by 7th grade Hieronymus Rex. That's terrifying. He wasn't even a commissar yet.
No. So he has yet to get his first kiss. Mm-hmm.
That's
never
savage.
recovered.
That's savage. Way more fun fact than my fun fact. I love
really
it.
quick, I'm just taking notes. I'll start here in just a second.
No, yeah.
That character's coming back. If we're gonna make Vern feel bad, that character's coming back.
Don't bring back Abigail St. Clair. No.
No, you'll traumatize him.
It's so fragile.
It's my job. My name is Lawrence. I'll be playing the DM here in our little slice of 40 universe.
Is it DM?
Yeah, but I'm just excited to get going. A fun fact, I guess, about let's go about Kerchunk. He's my favorite NPC currently. He's malfunctioning, and he's been malfunctioning for about 50 years. But he's just so affable that people just can't fix him. They just like the way he is now, and so does he.
Aww.
So last time on the podcast, we were introduced to our cast of characters. We, of course, started with Vernon, who went to go visit his rival at his office, D.O.G 24601. After a short conversation, everyone was sort of convinced to go on this mission. It doesn't take a lot of convincing from an Inquisitor or even a representative Inquisitor, because if you say no, you're kind of executed. So everyone made the right decision, just honestly for the sake of the podcast in general. It would have been a very, very short if everyone said, no, we don't want to. I don't think I've ever had anybody have to roll up new character session. So I just wanted to go over a couple things that happened, because we've joined our group all together, and we got onto the big red truck of Kerchunk. You guys are headed out to the mine, the Ceramite mine. It's going to take you guys a couple hours to get out there. It's several hundred miles away. But Kerchunk, he is diligent. He's going to make it happen. Just as a reminder, we are going to have to manually refuel about halfway. So look forward to that. But we also went over a bunch of histories. I just want to spark notes, just some of my favorites so that you guys remember and we could remind the audience of these, because these were just so fun for me. So at some point, Dr. Acula did save Alice. And Alice, I'm pretty sure you said still really wanted to hunt him, but won't out of respect. Was that correct?
Alice also said, I remember, if I recall correctly, that Dr. Acula is the person who she gets her human advice from.
Yes, that was also fairly fun, and I
remember that. Yes.
That was a good one.
How to human from me.
A warp denizen. Yep. Dog and Dr. Acula, you guys went to the same college together, the Emperor's Collegium. We, of course, introduced the concept of the Adeptus Pin-Noctis Bowling League. Alice has some prophecies that she gets as being part of the divine, being part of the church. Reads the tea leaves, smells the oils and unctions. But Vernon, you were not present in any of those. Just wanted to remind you. That might come up later. We'll find out. Let me see. Do I have any of these other ones? Oh, I love this one. Vernon, we're gonna try and find that high again for you, because we gotta top the case of my right shoe. I don't know, man. We're gonna do our best here. We're gonna see how this mystery unfolds. So you folks find yourselves. We've been traveling for about an hour down the road, and silence has sort of set over you folks. You guys have just been sort of engaged in self-contemplation and headed on your way to the mine.
I want to know that Vernon has his elbows tucked into his sides, because he's sandwiched between the door and Dr. Acula, and he is trying to got thighs pressed so tight together. He's just a little ball, not wanting to touch the scary monster next to him, but trying to be respectful because his mother raised him right.
Dr. Acula sits perfectly pencil straight, legs right next to each other, arms in lap, just staring straight ahead through the middle console and out the window. He hasn't moved this entire hour.
Alice has
point
fallen
where-
asleep in her seat.
So
Does
Alice
Alice
is
have
asleep.
narcolepsy? Did I miss that?
She's
Does
just very
she?
tired.
Okay, because she fell asleep standing up last episode. So I was
Yeah,
wondering, is she narcoleptic? Can I miss that?
Yeah, she's
Or
just
she
very tired, and she doesn't get to sleep in a bed or a chair. So this is very comfortable for her.
That's true. It's
This-
not in the budget for the
Yeah.
for the ecclesiarchy. Most of
I think you have a chair, at
just
least.
swords.
Yeah, I don't have a chair yet. I've got a desk though that I can lean against.
Oh, you have a desk. Oh, must be nice.
How does D.O.G. ride in the car?
Yeah.
That's a quick question on that, actually. If I remember right from the last session, D.O.G. had in one of the vehicles we were in a bunch of different pots and jars containing his various refueling liquids. And I just wanted to know whether this was that car or if that was a different car. And we're in a new car, and so we have to figure out a new thing he's doing.
We are in a new car. You are topped up.
Okay.
Does he have
good
his
to know.
little doggy head out the window?
No.
Like,
He has a
I
robot.
can smell the fumes.
DOG is looking out the window and is trying to coax Vern into like playing a cloud shape game with him. You see that one there. I think that one there looks just like an ice cream cone.
Dog, it looks like a cloud. I don't think I'm looking at the right one. Can you point it? I guess. Is it that one? That one that's cloud shaped, is white and gray.
It's this one right here. And Dog takes his awful feet filaments and he like makes an ice cream cone shape to trace the cloud out the window.
Vern has a very full, like, shivers, goosebumps break out on his arms to see his horrible fingers do this thing, and to make it over, he says, "Oh yeah, I see it, Dog. It's a very nice ice cream cone. It's very nice. I think it's cookie dough flavored. I can tell from the way it looks."
How often do you have ice cream, Vern?
Was going to be my next question.
Vern has ice cream as his little birthday treat. He goes to whatever the fantasy broken world version is of like a 7-Eleven, and he gets like the cheap little
Requisition hub.
Yes, he gets the not made of real milk, because cows have been gone forever, but like weird milk adjacent ice cream cookie dough, and that's his birthday treat.
What is Vern's favorite milk substitute for ice cream? I mean, there's got to be other creatures that have made milk. What's Vern's favorite?
Reverse almond.
Personally, I know that
Cockroach
Alice
milk.
really loves bee milk.
Bee milk.
Bee milk?
Mm-hmm.
Honey?
Cockroach milk.
Vern's more of like a mantis milk kind of guy. He finds it has a bit more of a sweeter undertaste, because everyone knows bugs are the future.
Bugs are the present. For
True.
you.
Bugs are, yes, they are my present.
Isn't cockroach milk just literally ground up cockroaches?
Cockroaches don't lactate. They don't have nipples.
No, it takes a very fine milker to pull the milk out of a cockroach. And Dr. Strahd
And a
may
steady
have those
hand.
skills.
A stern and steady hand.
If there's any through line, I think it would be maybe deep tissue massages and milking.
Icky,
Great.
icky,
I hate that.
horrible
cockroaches
place.
often?
Hate it here.
Awful. Yes. So I believe it is DOG 24601 who has the data slate. The data slate begins ringing.
Hello. How can I help you?
Greetings, DOG 24601. It is I, representative of Lord Inquisitor 15, Primus Patchouli.
My dearest Patchouli, it's wonderful to hear from you. What can I do for you?
Well, you're already doing it. I see that you folks are on your way to the mines. That's very good. Do you folks need any aid, any help from me, or is the data slate that I prepared so expertly doing the job? Anyone may answer this, not just DOG 24601. The floor is open.
Do we need his help with the refueling?
I think as far as I go, I like fed the data slate through my processor, and so in theory, know its contents, but we never really covered what was on the data slate. So
We're
I
going
was
to
about to
need
say-
gas.
I don't know anything about your car situation, but if you'd like, I can play the audio file. Yes, okay. Let me.
Hold on.
Please do.
Let me
The
just
more
find it on my end.
information, the better.
Yes,
The
hold
tech
on.
is so
Yes.
good he can see
Yep.
us nod.
Nope, yep, I just gotta put this, gotta flip it over. Hold on. And double click. And here we go.
Oh,
Hold
good.
on.
You are so good at using technology.
No, hold on.
No,
Not ready yet.
no, you still are. I would be lost for hours.
I appreciate that. I do lots of work for the Lord Inquisitor.
This is very
He
clear.
too.
He, too, does not have the greatest grasp. Though, it takes a great mind like his to focus on such a... Anyhow, let me get that audio file playing for you.
Please.
Greetings. My name is Orm Varys. I am in the HR department here at the mine. We've been having issues continually for the last 6 months or so. We've been losing various sizes of industrial equipment, drills, seismic hammer, larger vehicles, bulldozers even, and no matter who we interrogate, no matter who we execute, we cannot find the source of appearances. Although we have great resources and the aid of the local Adeptus Arbites, we have not yet been able to deduce the whereabouts nor the culprit. So we would like to entreat the Inquisition for their aid. We also believe that we have a small, spooky situation that may be related, but it also could just be a prank. We've had many pranks here at the mine. Not a lot to do, lots of pent-up energy, lots of buckets above us. Anyhow, here's the audio file.
And I think this is going to be a little bit different visually. We're just gonna as a camera here, we're gonna actually view the scene. You folks are not seeing this. This is just for me and the audience. So what we see is the person who is recording this audio. It is a bald, very gaunt-looking human or human-adjacent creature with 3 large talons on each hand. And the interesting thing about this guy is there is also a third hand holding the data slate he's using to record. And this is contents of the recording.
In the sunless body of our hive, the flock of the faithful grows. We are guided by our great Father's sacred vision, protected by his loving hands. Within these holy shadows we dwell, while the impure bathe in the spire-top starlight. And what lies between those stars? What sails beyond those distant suns, shrouded in night, born with that eternal black? Our redeemers, our gods, truer than silent, truer than the long-dead emperor. We, the children of the void, we hear them in our dreams. We can feel them in our blood. They call and we will answer. We will rise and claim the engines of labor that we have used to bind us in servitude. This world will burn, and it will be cleansed and purified, made ready, and the heavens will deliver our reward.
And that's where the data slate cuts off. And then the recording of the HR guy, Orm Varys, resumes. Says,
Yeah, so I don't really know what that's about. It could be poetry, could be, and it could be related. It might not be. It kind of sounds like they're stealing stuff in that poem, but I'm not really sure. So yeah, Orm Varys.
and then the voice of Primus Patchouli resumes, and he says,
Well, yeah, so you should have all the other information you need from the data slate, and I guess if you need any money or whatever, just send me an invoice.
Indeed.
Recording within a recording?
Inception recording. Lots of R's.
I'm not a recording. I'm here with you right now.
But Orm, Was
Yes.
Orm also a recording? And then he played a recording of...
That's correct. Orm was a
The
recording,
poetry
and we
guy.
interposed, using my technological skills, the recording that he submitted.
This is why it
I
took
don't
him
see
10
why
minutes to
Orm-
set up.
Correct. I did have to re-edit.
I don't see why Orm's presence was needed in this exchange. It just seems like it was just extra work on your part. Couldn't you have just played the poetry?
I like to
Orm?
set the stage. I like to put things in context.
Mm.
I'm very diligent, you know. Can't become the aide to a Lord Inquisitor without being diligent.
Will this Orn be our contact when we arrive?
I'm actually not sure.
Just
You probably
anything
either find
from you
him-
at all would be
Probably
helpful.
find
Him or there's also the manager of the mines. He'll be there probably. His name is Yark Subam. Just ask for either of them probably.
Yark and Orn.
How do you spell that? He's got a little notepad out and he's writing it down.
In Common Tongue or High Gothic.
Common, please. My Gothic's not very good.
Both.
Yes, I believe that. Anyhow, Y. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Mm-hmm.
R.
Yes.
C. Are you ready for the next one?
I can write faster than that. Just so you know, I'm not. I can.
But
write
maybe he
fast.
can't spell faster
Very
than that.
impressive.
O. R.
Mhm.
M.
Mm.
Any other questions?
you.
Of course.
No, I
Wait.
think I'm good. Thanks.
How do I spell that in High Gothic?
Oh, yes. It's egg, orman, bin, and surl.
And the other one?
B, ge, abla. Of course.
Of course. Thank you. Strahd does
Could you
not write
repeat
that
back
down.
to me?
No, because I did not write that down.
Would you be able to send us, the players, a copy of that poem?
Who, me, Primus Patchouli? No, yeah, I could.
Is it a poem? Did it rhyme? I guess
Gabe
poems
the
have
character
rhymes.
or
Have to
Gabe the
rhyme?
PC?
This is future poetry, baby.
This is true. The
Even
milk
modern,
is
even
bugs.
current poetry doesn't have to rhyme.
This could be ancient poetry for all you guys know. Written in the 2000s.
Getting a phone
So,
call.
yeah,
Well, if we're gonna just sit here in silence, I'm going to end the call and go do more important things.
Thank you.
Everyone good?
Yes.
Okay, great. Beep.
Strahd returns to staring right out the window, stoic and still as always.
Dog. Do we have a game plan here? Is there? Do you want to do bad dog, good detective? Do you? Is there? Do you have a? This isn't bread, so I'm just curious as to what your tactics
Roasted.
are when handling crime or investigating.
I must admit, when you said game plan, I did think that you meant resuming our cloud game that had been so stimulating previously. But a good change of topic nonetheless. I appreciate your asking for my input, despite my being a humble bread detecting dog. You have included me in your meat crime machinations. Man, I really would like to see a copy of that poem.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not. It's more for vibes than a riddle. But I will give you a copy of it now.
It's our only clue.
I wouldn't even really call it a clue.
Then why did you give it to us in the? Is it just for foul razzle dazzle?
I mean,
It's to set us. It's to set us.
the teaser scene.
Yeah,
it's the teaser scene.
It's the thing that tells us, ooh, there's something big and spooky from beyond the stars coming.
All right.
Only because the poet told us so himself.
So
there are things that I said in that little thing that might become important, that might come up in the future, but it's not like a riddle or anything like that.
I will.
Very excellent memory tells me is that there's some kind of uprising maybe within the ranks, stolen vehicles, potential juvenile pranks. I feel like we're pretty heavy artillery here. This may just be a simple case of just regular tomfoolery.
But they have stolen vehicles and gravity hammers or whatever they're called.
Graviton. Seismic hammers.
I'm not a construction worker. I just give massages. But they're stealing stuff and it's big. Kerchunk, is any of this stolen stuff your size?
The window rolls down, and Kerchunk leans back and looks at you. And, you know, this guy he's been lobotomized. He's mostly a robot, so he doesn't really have a problem with looking at you. And honestly, I think somebody looking you dead in the eyes might be a little bit unnerving even for you. But Kerchunk looks at you and he says, Kerchunk! And then he shakes his head, and then he holds his hands out really wide.
Bigger than Kerchunk, I think, is what Kerchunk is saying. This is some big stuff stolen. Yes, Kerchunk. You can roll the window up now.
Kerchunk. And the window rolls back up.
Thank you. More for a point. This is large stuff stolen.
Oh yeah, but I point over to the passed out holy worker across from me in the vehicle. She's got a bag full of weaponry. Is medieval weaponry needed for vehicular-related crimes?
From my experience with Alice, this is how she solves all crimes. With a sword.
Every crime can be solved with the proper amount of swords.
In my experience, it's also how she tends to order a donut.
She holds it out and says, put it on the sword.
I would say you folks, you know, you guys can keep having this conversation if you want. Feel free to jump straight back over me if there's more questions you have for each other. But Kerchunk rolls the window down again. This is probably about 30 minutes, 40 minutes after you folks have had that conversation with Primus Patchouli. Kerchunk rolls the window down. He turns back to you folks and he says, Kerchunk! And then he slows the vehicle to a stop and turns off the ignition. Pretty much immediately, Kerchunk gets out of the vehicle on his little treads, and he begins wheeling himself back towards the back of the vehicle to start the refueling process, you guys assume.
You said that he was lobotomized. If he's a robot, how does he lobotomize? I'm sorry, I know it's not important.
No. So the way that servitors work is servitors are essentially robots where the operating system is the brain. Instead of having a CPU, you have a brain CU.
A BPU.
Yeah, exactly. And they are basically given a set amount of responsibilities and like sort of like a job description, and they are able to perform those tasks to the best of their ability. But they don't really have free will. They don't really have a mind of their own. Kerchunk is a little bit of a different case because he's obviously malfunctioning. But generally speaking, servitors are what the name sort of implies. They are completely in servitude. They are robot helpers, semi-organic, but behave as though they are robots.
So, I mean, he does have like a human brain in that chassis, a meat brain that has been lobotomized, and then he
has an upper body. He has an upper torso that's mostly organic. His lower body is treads. And then you guys can see his brain inside of a little case.
I should not have asked for clarification beyond what I was given.
I love it.
This is just the way that servitors look, guys. And boy, howdy, he's just going about his merry way.
Wow, we are two peas in a pod with how much we want to be looked at.
This is the same level of horror I felt when I realized that dog is a meat dog and not a robot.
It's a similar technology that is being used in both cases.
I am mostly robot.
Imagining Canine from Doctor Who, and I'll leave it at that.
D.O.G, I think, is curious about the refueling process, and so is going to follow Kerchunk and just sort of watch him do his thing.
Okay, yeah. So you also step out of this big red treaded vehicle, and you see in the rear of the vehicle, Kerchunk. He is taking a little elevator that has popped out, a little platform that has popped out of the back of the vehicle that is raising him up off of the ground, and he's just grabbing various pipes and rerouting them into the vehicle from a big tank in the back of the vehicle, in the back of the truck. The trunk, if you will.
I remain motionless
Looks
in
like refueling. Yep.
the middle of the thing.
It seems like it's
Vern
going to
also
take him a
gets
while.
out. He doesn't want to be this close to the scary shadow man next to him. So he
This is
also gets
fair.
out and pretends to stretch because that's why he needed to get out because he's just so tall. Remember, because Vern is a looker, despite having the personality of like a wet paper towel. He's a looker. He's a hot man.
Vern's
and so
for
he's
sure the most
broad and
handsome one
strong.
here.
And so he's
Traditionally,
stretching
anyway.
it out his long legs and he's pretending that that's the reason he needed to get out because he didn't.
You have some knots in those shins if you would like me to give them a rub later. I can see them from here.
That's so kind of you. I'm wearing trousers, so I'm not sure.
I've
how.
only turned just my head to look at you. The rest of my body remains motionlessly
Is the
forward.
door open? You're through the tinted windows?
I'm yelling from inside the closed car.
Vern kind of like leans against, like, because he's polite. He wants to, like, not ignore you. But he also doesn't want to be touched. He's, I'm okay. I don't know how you can see that through the window and my trousers. But I'm good. I think that
I have
the
muscle
normal
sense.
style.
I can always sense a knot in a muscle from very close.
So I think during this conversation, while you're trying to entice Vern here, I think from pretty far away, you guys feel the ground begin to rumble. This is not the direction you came, nor the direction you are heading, but there is a uncharacteristic rumble.
Do my sensors sense anything?
Why don't you read a bad situation?
Got a 7.
Are you helping Dog Vern?
Yeah, I'm squinting. I don't have special eyes, but I've got my hand up like this.
We're gonna
shielding.
Have you rolled a help out? So Gabe, take a +1. I don't think there's any real danger that you're exposing yourself here. You cough a little bit, Vern, because it's not very easy to breathe out here. It's not the best. It's fine. You'll be fine, but that's the danger you expose yourself to for helping out, Dog.
Okay, then I scan my sensors. I get one question for a 9, and I would like to ask: are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
So I think the main danger that hasn't drawn your focus yet is as this rumble, it's approaching you, not at great speed, but at slight speed, and it's beginning to shake the car. And Kerchunk is having a hard time continuing the processes. He's doing his best, but like his hands are shaking on the platform, and so he can't quite grab. He's really struggling with these hoses.
Does he have meat hands?
Yes.
Feeling the rumbling approaching, Dr. Acula, without opening the door, just moves through the door and stands next to Vern. I was looking over my stuff again. Instead of shape-shifting, I can move through solid objects, except not people. So it felt more like online for a level 1 thing, and hiding as well. So I just moved through the door and stand next to Vern, and I say, "Can you see what's coming?"
Vern squints really hard to hide how freaked out he is that he just, out of his peripherals, just saw this horrible shadow thing that just emerged through the metal door. I see just clouds, not ice cream ones. These more like maybe movement clouds. I've got human eyes, so they're...
Indeed, there is a slight dust cloud that is approaching you folks.
Something is coming. I'm not. I can roll to see. Can I? So wait. Was it already rolled to see if we could see what was coming, or is that something that I should do now?
Gabe, I think read a bad situation. Isn't that what it is? Read a bad situation. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? So Gabe read a bad situation.
Got you.
And that he got his one question, and that's what he did.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna read a bad situation to see if I can figure out what's coming, since it seems like Dog's
it doesn't seem to be bread based. So
right. I mean, Dog's focus is also on the robot putting in our stuff. So, -1. That's a 5. Juicy 5. So read a bad situation on a 5 is nothing. I just did bad.
Yeah, you take a good long squint at it, but it seems to be mostly underground, pretty obscured by the cloud.
I have no idea what's coming.
Is there? I've never, like I said, never played before. Is there anything? I know I helped out Gabe. Is there anything I can do, or since I helped out, is that just like
Yeah, I mean, what are you trying to do here?
Well, I've got
We
a
can figure
plus
out.
2.
We can pretty much figure out a role to do for pretty much anything that you can think of.
I've got a plus 2 for sharp, and I'm trying to remember what my. I think it's daytime, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I do have.
I'm garbage at reading a bad situation because I have a -1 anyway, but with a +2, if you do it, you might also be able to get another question or 3 out of it. If
I can just like take a few steps forward and squint harder, and that.
Yeah, I mean, set it up.
Close your eyes.
To set it up, I say.
Also, well, you can definitely read a bad situation and check that. You could act under pressure. There's an argument to be made to substitute sharp if you were to try and help Kerchunk do something faster up there. I don't think you can kick some ass, and I don't think you can investigate a mystery here. Do you have in your like starting things like binoculars or any sort of spyglass or something?
I have a cassette tape recorder, and I've got a video camera. So if I could zoom in with the camera.
Yeah,
Okay, sweet.
to set that
it's-
up, I say I can't see shit from here, but if there were a way we could get a closer look on the whole situation, that might be helpful.
Got just the thing, Doctor. And it's 2d6. 2 of these guys.
Yes.
Okay, and it's
2d6 plus
reading
your relevant skills. So if you are reading a bad situation, it is plus sharp.
okay. So that's 7 plus 2 is 9. That's not a
Ooh,
full success.
I think there's an argument to be made that with the zoom, is there a +1 added here?
Yeah.
Like
sure,
a help out roll? Hell yeah.
Neat.
You're helping yourself out.
Go for a 10 up. I think you get 3 questions.
3 questions. Oh, beans. Okay, let me look at my questions here.
3 questions. Oh no, I didn't know 1.
Well, I mean, it's these options, right? These are the only
Right.
questions I can ask. Got it. Okay. So are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
So, yeah, I think that was the question that Gabe asked.
dang.
But if there's any additional, I think as far as the dangers that you haven't noticed, while you're zooming in here, you see there's a couple of scavengers in a little tent way out in the field in between you and the dust cloud. I think that the dangers that you haven't noticed is that these people are in danger, and you also don't know who these people are. So perhaps they're also a danger in addition to being in danger.
Okay.
But
What's my
they're quite a
best-
ways away.
Got it. What's my best way in?
I mean, the monster appears to be underground, so I would say underground.
Got
You want
it.
to get in with the monster. Or the
And
thing
then
that is approaching you, rather.
I guess what's most vulnerable to me?
To you, I would say the vehicle as well as Kerchunk. If for some reason that is immobilized, it's going to be very difficult for you folks to really get anywhere. There's not food out here. There's barely any like coverage from the sun. It's kind of polluted, so it's not great to breathe in without protective breathing for extended periods of time. It's just not good. This is kind of a wasteland around the hive cities.
It seems like whatever is coming our way is underground. And do we know, like, is there approximation of how far that little group of people is?
With your advanced zoom, I think you're able to see folks probably close to a mile away. Like, they're pretty small. So the monster, the cloud shape, that is about twice as far away. It's just much bigger, so you're able to see it.
And it looks like about a mile away there's a group of some sort of, I don't know if it's a settlement or a weird camping trip. But there are people about a mile out, but the underground unknown is headed straight their way and also our way.
Underground? Oh no. Maybe we should help old Kerchunk here get the gas in the car so we can get the fuck out of here.
I do myself have a way to speed up the process, but I am afraid to say it will escalate the situation slightly.
That's very vague, dog.
It's a little
Can you
too
be
vague for
more
my comfort.
clear, please?
I have a move, a meddling kid move called Run Away. It's basically a get out of jail free move. You can just flee. Yeah, when you decide to get out of a bad situation, you can get away just fine. Unfortunately, you will end up somewhere just as bad that is important to the current mystery.
We might end up in the same spot.
No,
or a worse one.
we'll get away from this, but it will be just as bad.
Let's perhaps see if there's
So-
anything. Kerchunk, Mr. Kerchunk, sir, is there any way Yes, I heard. Is there any way we can help you make this process go by faster? You got some shaky hands there. Can I help you with my steady ones?
Kerchunk is still struggling with the same 2 pipes that he was struggling with earlier. And as the shaking is continuing, it is getting harder for him. So he is saying, Kerchunk, while he's shaking the 2 pipes that he has. And then he's also pointing to 2 other pipes on the other side of the vehicle that need to be connected still.
Oh, God. I'm going to rush over and grab those 2 pipes and try to connect them.
And I go over and try and like steady Kerchunk's hands with my hand. I'm so much bigger than Kerchunk that I'm like almost ghost style around him, holding the 2 pieces together.
Let me show
starts to
you,
play
Kerchunk.
smooth jazz out of his mouth.
Vern is dissociating of how awkward this is because he really just needs to. The mission at hand is the most important. He's gonna have a crisis about this later because physical intimacy, even as innocent as this, is terrifying.
I love it. So you roll a help out, Vern, and then you roll an act under pressure, Dr. Acula.
Fuck.
Is it just 2 of these again?
Yep.
Yeah, help out is 2d6 plus cool.
Pretty much all of your rolls to test something, actually all of your rolls to test something will be 2d6 plus relevant stat.
All right, so that's a 6. I don't think that's anything, right? That's a failure.
Your hands are just as shaky with this jazz music playing and this slight physical intimacy. Your hands are actually shaking just as much as Kerchunk, so the combined shaking is just kind of comical. These 2 pipes are just flopping up and down.
I can't.
Vern,
himself.
Vern, are you certain that you have this situation under control?
Apparently
I
not.
can always step in and help out, if needs be.
Yes,
Kerchunk.
dog. I guess it seems like I need your help, please.
And when Dog goes up to help Vern, you can see on the other side of the car that Dr. Acula just fucking can't turn off his pass-through mode, and so he's trying to grab these pipes, but he's just passing through them. He like grabs it for a second, and then it passes through and flops back down to the car. I got a 3, so I can't turn off pass-through mode.
Man. So I think your
Is Alan still asleep?
Dog, your personal digital zoom. You take a quick look over towards where the monster is. The big cloud shape underground, and it's very close now to the settlement. You can see that little speck on the horizon that you know to be the settlement. Very soon they're going to be up on top of those folks. And I think at this point, with all of the panicking going on, Alice, you for sure hear you're feeling the shaking of the vehicle. You're hearing your crew behind the vehicle fumbling the bag.
Oh, Alice, I need a little help over here.
I hadn't had a dream in forever, and you're waking me up now. Which one of you is making that rumbling?
D.O.G?
The vehicle.
Unfortunately, that would be none of us. An unknown assailant from under the ground has appeared. It is presently menacing settlement a mile yonder, and soon it will be upon us.
A monster?
Do you want us to get out of the frying pan and into the fire, as it were?
That would not be ideal, as I'm pretty sure this is not what we're dealing with. Here, Dr. Acula can help you with those.
What?
Probably.
Act under pressure, I think was the roll I made.
Yeah, make a new act under pressure here.
So I got a 5?
So, Alice, you wake up and you immediately go back there to try and help after that little conversation there. But
Make sure you mark experience too on any failed rolls.
Yep. As you were sleeping, you only really kind of understand what's going on. So you do grab a pipe, but you're kind of just like not sure where to put it.
I'm like, what?
And then you take a glance over where they've been pointing at this big dust cloud. And the dust cloud gets to where you folks know the settlement to be. And the dust cloud erupts. It just launches straight up into the sky. It ends up going probably just about as far into the sky, the dust cloud, as you folks are away from it. It is a gigantic pillar of dust and smoke.
Oh, shit.
And then the shaking continues.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
What was your role in helping me help Kerchonk?
Oh, I think his offer of help, I thought, was to get us out of here and into a worse situation.
Not worse, just as bad.
Okay, equivalently as awful. And every moment we wait, by the way, the situation that he's putting us into is going to be equivalently worse.
I think now is the time that my thing is gonna pop off, because you all three of you have now I think failed
100%
completely 100% failed to fix the thing. So Dog is like, if I may, and he extends all of his terrible feeler hands and takes all of the pipes and reconfigures the tank and engine into just a rocket, just like one single booster rocket intended to siphon all of our fuel into one get out of here and some other place boost. And DOG says, I have to stay out here to hold all the piping together, but I do suggest you buckle your seatbelts.
Kerchonk, as he is lowering himself with the platform down to go rejoin in the cockpit, the driver's seat, he stops before he turns around the corner, and he looks up at you, DOG, up on the top of the vehicle holding all these pipes together, and he gives you a salute, and then he goes into the driver's seat.
Strahd moves back into the car, still in pass-through mode, but gets in the middle seat again, even though now he doesn't need to. He just sits back in the seat he was assigned at the beginning.
Awful.
Alice mistakenly takes Vernon's seat.
Dog, what's going to happen to you out there? As a colleague, I feel like I'm responsible for making sure that we all return.
I'm so grateful you reminded me. And he sort of twists and jerks his robot body, and his shaggy mop dog head pops off. Act under pressure to catch his head.
Oh god. What is the pluses for that?
Act under pressure is cool.
Oh, he is not cool. That is a 9.
All right, so it brushes the very top of Dog's head, brushes the dirt, but you do catch the head before contact. It's just a little dirty on the top.
And then Vern starts to emit a Tina Belcher like, and he power walks to holding as far as he can from his body the head of his frenemy colleague.
I pat the other seat next to me without turning my head.
I place it down and I seatbelt it, and the seatbelt does go across his face a little bit, but safety first.
DOG, the dog head opens its mouth, and a little like a speaker. This is not where DOG's voice usually comes from. So, and also the seatbelt's over his face, so it sounds a bit like, okay, Kerchonk, if you would, start your engine.
Should I?
Here, I thought you were just another trophy.
Should I move
Sad.
the seatbelt, or just leave it like that?
Where are you sitting, Alice?
I'm sitting in Baron's seat.
So in the back seat currently, it's me in the middle, DOG's head on one side, and Alice on the other side. And then there is
Just
wherever
Vern
Alice
on the other side.
Yeah, wherever Alice was sleeping.
Great.
Vern
great for
has
Vern.
Alice's nest, which I imagine is not cleaned up.
Anything better
No.
than the
Alice
monster.
woke up, went, "What's going on?" Didn't help, and then got back in.
All right, and then how do we exit D.O.G?
So Kerchunk
Or
rolls
DM
down the
is, I
divider
guess.
again, and he takes a quick look, and he pokes his seatbelt, and he says, "Kerchunk."
Yes.
And then he starts the engine, and as soon as he flips that ignition, the engine bursts into life about 3 times as loud as you guys remember hearing it all during this trip.
Oh, fuck.
And very, very, very quickly, you folks emanate a giant dust cloud rivaling that of the approaching creature. And you guys boost your way. You're going in a similar direction that you wanted to go towards the mines.
Is
Very
there
similar
ocean
direction.
handle in this fantasy vehicle? Are there ocean
There's
handles?
actually 3 of them.
Vern has one. He has one of them in his grip.
There's only 3 of
And
you
he's-
that can have hands right now. So
I
think
sit still.
Vern's a walker. He's probably never moved this fast before. He's only ever walked. He doesn't know how to drive.
D.O.G has his mouth open and his tongue out as though he's like in the wind, but he's not. So his tongue is just like flopped on
Against
the
the
seat.
seatbelt, coming just like lightly out from under the seatbelt.
That's really great. That's truly great. And this burst of speed lasts a good 20 minutes. You guys are pinned up. Well, I guess Vern, you're pinned up against your seatbelt, but everyone else is pinned up against their seats for a good long while here. And then the vehicle putters to a stop.
Oh, shit.
And it doesn't putter to a stop like it did nicely last time whenever Kerchunk was getting ready to refuel the vehicle. This thing slams and skitters to a stop.
Oh, shit.
And then once you get to actual stop there, the only reason you're actually slowed down so violently is there's a big rock that hits one of the front treads and knocks it completely off of the tracks. So currently you folks now are at a place that you haven't really expected yet. You haven't really looked around out of these windows because you were flying so quickly, and one of your treads on your vehicle is now broken. So Kerchunk rolls down the window. Kerchunk also looks like he's been having a bad time. It looks like he's maybe sweating some sort of oily liquid.
One exposed wire like a curly hair.
Yeah. He pushes his hand back and he pushes that wire back down flat, and he says, "Kerchunk," and he shrugs, and he just kind of looks back forward and doesn't move.
Should we call the Inquisitor for a backup ride?
Do we know how long that's going to take?
No, we don't. Do we even know where we are? We just sort
Roll
of
my
went
window
forward.
No one has looked yet.
I roll down my window just enough so I can put my arm and then the camera out.
So you
Just-
try to press the button for the window roll down, and no noise even happens. Nothing happens.
I tap one finger against the divider. Is the divider up or no?
It's
I
down.
don't know. Okay.
It's down.
Mr.
Oh, wait.
Chunk.
My robot body's still outside. Can I use my sensors?
Yeah, you can use your Wi-Fi sensors if you want to. Or your
Wi-Fi?
Bluetooth sensors.
Wi-Fi?
My Bluetooth bread sensors. I know it's not really for detecting bread, but I can detect at least the absence of bread around us and tell you about it. Well, I rolled a 10.
Great. What were you doing? Just looking around.
Does your robot body have eyes?
Let's go with investigative mystery and say what happened here in terms of like where are we?
Okay, so it looks like you use your sensors and you get a rudimentary outline of your surroundings. Your robot body's a little bit shaken up. It feels, according to your sensors, a little bit rigid. It's not exactly gone out of this very, very sturdy emergency mode yet, but as it takes in these surroundings with its sensors, you're able to get a view of this valley that you have found yourself into. It's just a little bit of a dip in the wasteland architecture, and it leads pretty far in a straight line. It seems like this is a ditch, and that suspicion is only confirmed as we pan slightly to the left and we see a very large drainage ditch. It's clearly placed there. It was made by people. It's made out of ceramite, as it turns out, which is a very, very slate gray material. It's a ceramic material, but it's incredibly strong and incredibly lightweight. So a lot of things like this are used for this at the Imperium. So yeah, it's it doesn't seem like it's a radioactive dump. Lucky for you folks, it's just random, sewage, waste products, excess water from whatever the source is. And then your sensors also confirm that you did really, really hit a rock as you propelled yourself into this ravine. And your tracks don't appear to be broken with your rudimentary imaging here, but it is for sure separated from the vehicle.
I undo a seatbelt. So it's not muffled.
Thank you so very much. I will say we have good news and we have some bad news. The good news is that we are not in any more immediate danger. The bad news is that we are in a ditch full of shit, and our wheels are broken.
You might be in a ditch filled with shit, but I just phase out of the top of the car and then move over to the side of the road so I don't have to touch that. I'm not getting it on my pants.
Everyone hates this. Everyone hates seeing that. No one is happy about that.
Except for myself. I'm stoked to not be covered in shit.
No one will believe you is the unfortunate fact.
Mr. Kerchonk, sir.
Kerchonk?
How long do you think since D.O.G has told us, or I'm just inferring, because I also heard what he saw, that the wheel itself is not damaged? Do you know if you're able to put it back on the tread?
Kerchonk shakes his head and he says, Kerchonk.
He couldn't even refuel the vehicle.
Kerchonk, he taps on the dash, and as he's doing that, the dash bursts to life for just a moment, and then, as if there's a power failure, dies almost immediately. And Kerchonk just shrugs and continues to look straight forward.
Do you want to come with us, Mr. Kerchonk? Or do you want to stay in the shit?
Kerchonk slaps the hood, hood of the dash, and he very, very stoically says, Kerchonk. And he puts his hands in his lap and he continues to look forward.
I understand this.
You're not here. You teleported
You can hear me shouting from the road.
Yes, very stoic.
The car looks broken.
Is the vehicle, let's try and visualize this. Is it nose first in the ditch with its butt in the air?
So the ditch is very sizable. About 2 or 3 of these vehicles end to end could fit along this ditch. It's just your vehicle was launched over the edge into the ditch onto a rock.
How deep?
You folks aren't very far into the ditch. I would say you're probably about 10 feet from the lip.
The back windshield?
It's a ramp, but if you were to go straight up to the highest point, 10 feet to the lip. Yeah, that's about how tall the opening for this drainage ditch is as well, about 10 feet up.
Well, it looks like we're walking from here.
I'm gonna open the door and clamber on top of the I have to grab the head. With one
Please
hand,
don't forget about me.
Toss me the head.
I scruff my colleague with one hand because I know the owls is probably not going to want to pick him up because they've got a beef, and we've got a beef. But I'm a professional. Vern's a professional, so he scruffs the dog head, and then realizes they're not secure and kind of tucks it under his arm, kind of like a football with his head facing out, so it's not in his pit. And then he clambers up on top of the vehicle and he says, "Doctor, I'm really sorry about this dog. I'm going to have to throw your head. Unless, do I see Dog's body? Is it underneath?
Yeah, Dog's body is still.
I'm open.
The back of the vehicle.
I'm open.
I'd much rather you toss that head back to me, please.
We'll get him put back together over here. I'm open.
You know what? I think I'm open too. I have a sword in my hand. Go on, throw it right here.
Use the flat like baseball.
I mean this in the most respectful way, Doctor. I'm not sure if your hands are tangible.
This is fair. I am not either.
So
I for my own part, don't want to be touched by them. I don't like looking at them, and I don't want them on my face.
Gabe, does your robot body move independently? Like, if I roll the head towards the body, can the body just
Don't
lean over
you
and pick it
dare
up?
do that. Don't you roll my head in the shit.
No, he's on
That would
the
take
shit.
so long to clean. I have white hair.
He's not in the shit. You said he's on the back of the vehicle.
There's a little bit of shit on the top of the vehicle.
But can you roll my head to the vehicle without it going through the shit?
You
What
guys
is
are
it
on the
rolling
vehicle.
on?
They're on top of the
That's
vehicle.
There's a little bit of shit on the roof of the vehicle.
Okay.
Just let me. I'm just gonna. And I get off. I let go of the vehicle and I get down and I take back my head.
Hurry,
What-
hurry,
what,
like monkey
what
in the
are we
middle.
doing?
You're welcome, dog. And then he goes and he clambers his way out of. He grabs his detective coat, which is a little too big on him, and he pulls it over his hands just in case, because he doesn't want his hands to touch the shit, just in case if he needs to use them. He's pretty athletic, so I think he can clamber, but just in case he falls, his hands, they're not going to have shit on him, because he doesn't know when the next chance is going to be water.
Yeah, no, you guys are fine. You guys are, thus far, not really covered in shit.
Excellent.
Cool.
And, there's not really, like, a lot of shit in this drainage ditch. Like, this seems like a very big opening for not a lot of, like, there's not even, like, a current coming out of it currently. It's just, you can see the stainage, the slight sludge at the bottom. It's gross, but, it's not like, you look to your left and you see shit, you look to your right, you see shit. There is some shit, just not a lot of shit.
All right, I'm looking around. Do I need to roll for it, or can I just, what do I see?
So, yeah, I can just describe a little bit more of this environment. You can, standing on top of the vehicle, see above the lip of the ravine here. And honestly, you don't see a whole lot. You see some assorted rocks. You see maybe a dead tree here and there. You don't see any dust clouds, barring the settling of the one you folks left behind. And you don't feel any rumbling. Other than the long ditch that leads away from the drainage opening, there's not a lot of points of interest.
Any chance I could ask another investigate a mystery question from the three that I had from earlier?
Oh yeah, go for it.
What is being concealed here at the top of this shit ditch?
You can save questions.
I think you search your data banks and you learn that these styles of drainage are often used for processing plants, and processing plants are often built near the mines that support them. The sort of workload is often mined to processing plant and then shipped back to wherever it's being used, the final product. So you assume this particular drainage ditch could be connected to the mine that you folks are headed towards. You don't know that for sure, but you were headed in a similar direction that you meant to be headed in. So you imagine you're not terribly far off course.
Shit, man.
It is just as bad of a situation or worse.
Is the concept that we're going to walk through this shitty ditch to get there now because of this? Or is the concept we just have to get out of the shitty ditch and walk there?
I mean, you have a lot of options.
Okay.
You could call Primus Patchouli and
must,
see if he could help you. You could go through the
shit
pipe.
Must come from a butt crack. We must follow the shit to where the shit originates from, right?
No. I vote I vote very differently. I vote you guys come up to the top of the ditch with me, and then we walk down the road we were already on to get where we are going. Why? May I ask why you'd like to go through the shit tunnels?
Hey, I didn't use a character voice. I was just saying, in general, shit must originate from somewhere. I don't want to go in the shit, but if you want to find the source,
this is a fair point.
Every shit has an anus.
I also
you just
say to
follow
myself,
the shit.
Go follow the anus.
I do think that while it is important, as Vern said, to find the butt crack,
it's too late. You've already said it. I could hear it from even up here at the top of the ditch.
Yeah, we're changing the name of the campaign to Finding the Butt Crack.
I wish we hadn't.
While that is our imperative, we would be served not to walk through the potentially toxic mine waste and walk next to the ravine until we find our mine or whatever's at the other end of this ditch.
Ideally, we should not get on that Emperor's bad side, especially if we're stray off course.
Are we just yelling the plan from the top of the car to the doctor? So I think we should.
It does seem that way.
Anyway, instead of shouting, let's just ditch Kerchunk, and why don't you get on out of the shit tube? Ditch.
On my way.
Do we have to make rolls to get out of the ravine, or
I think you
are-
guys could just do that. You know,
Sure.
it's just a slight incline. You guys
Was
can just walk up
breezy
the
for
incline.
myself.
Vern squats on the hood of the car and looks through the window at Kerchunk and just kind of like waves a little bit. Just because he wants to.
Salutes you as well.
Vern has never felt more respected and seen. And he takes his back is turned to the rest of the group. He takes a moment to just feel this respect from this lobotomized half human robot, and he turns around and he joins the rest of the group. Strong.
Come on, Vern. We have to find the butt crack.
You say one thing one time. Gosh.
That could be a subtitle for the podcast.
Say one thing one time. I love that.
And so I guess we do that. We follow the butt crack.
Yeah, so you folks get out of the drainage ditch, and it's not terribly easy to follow this pipe back to the source. You can see down the path because you guys are off the road. You guys are not. You're not within sight of the path that you were originally taking to get towards these mines. But you're not terribly off course, you imagine. And these drainage pipes don't run that far. I think it's going to take some. There's not really a good roll for that. I think, let's just do some acts under pressure because you guys are in a little bit of a time crunch here. You don't want to spend too much time in the wasteland if possible. Not healthy for the humanoid people, not great because of the potential dangers lurking within the wasteland.
Well,
so
if there's a danger to find, I am one to find it because I rolled a 6.
Okay.
I don't succeed. I don't know what success is.
Yeah,
I think I'm hungry.
You're not terribly helpful in finding the route that you suggested.
I need to do the sucky touchy.
Yeah. You're just hungry.
I rolled a 7.
A 7? Okay.
D.O.G rolled a 5, so D.O.G is confidently suggesting we go in a different direction from Vern, who definitely does know where we're going.
Vern wavers, but he points more firmly.
I think Vern, it is an annoying trek for you because you're the most on point. Alice also is pretty good at following, but Alice is also distracted by the company and also thinking about the Emperor, imagining the Emperor, sometimes being grumpy with the Emperor, but not wanting to offend the Emperor, of course.
Yeah, where does Alice walk? Because she doesn't want to be next to the monster. She also wants next to be the robot. Is she in the back? Because she doesn't have her back to them?
Yeah, what's the marching order? What does this look like?
Vern is going to be in the front, because he actually knows.
Yes, you for sure know.
I think I definitely follow behind you then. I also follow right behind Vern.
Okay.
Currently, Dr. Acula's in the back, I guess, with D.O.G. If D.O.G. is trying to go a different way, whatever. I'm in the back. My head and shoulders are hung low, and I'm like doing the grumpy child walk when they're hungry, and they're like they just want to eat food. I think going incorporeal took a lot of my energy, so I am struggling out here.
My stomach hurt.
Always thinking about our Vern's shin knots.
His fingers are just twitching the whole time.
D.O.G is walking behind Vern, near Alice, perhaps, or at least somewhere behind Vern within audible range, and is backwalk driving.
So, Vern, you're able to, as we're going along, discern where the breaks in the earth are. You're able to find all of the remnants of the ceramite piping that is leading back towards the mines. And after about an hour, you see with your zoom cam, you're able to see what is the telltale outline of the mining facility, or at least the upper surface mines go down into the earth. And it's still a little bit of a ways off, but you do see that that it's coming. You're on the right track. You know where you're going. And then the data slate begins to ring.
Who has it? Is it still? Does Dog still have it? Do we leave it in the car?
Did we take it with us from the car?
I assume it's still Dog.
Left it in the car for sure.
I think Dog had it on his person whenever he removed himself from the or whenever he removed his head. So I imagine it's still just in Dog's robot body.
Well, I'm really glad it is in my robot body and didn't fall out
Yeah,
as
the
part of
screen is
being part of a
really-
rocket.
The screen is really dusty and kind of cracked, but it is still functional.
Does Dog's robot body wear clothes, or is it just like chrome, like Futurama, like Bender?
I've got a bow tie.
Of proper dog's anatomy, actually.
Oh, Dog anatomy. So he's got like neep nops and.
Neep now.
No, robot body. So no, Muppet Wizard of Oz robot nipples. Let's see. I think it is just the bow tie, and then just like robot parts. So we'll see what kind of sensors and components D.O.G has.
And dog brain.
Dog brain,
Mhm.
dog head.
I'll run by a dog brain. Genius dog, but a dog.
The data
Alright,
slate
so this-
continues to
yeah.
ring.
Yeah.
Are you going to answer that?
D.O.G hands it to Dr. Acula.
All right. Hello, this is Dr. Acula, MD, chiropractor. How may I help you?
Yeah. Hey, you assholes were supposed to be at the mines by now. What's going on? This is Primus Patchouli, of course.
Oh, shit. Sorry, my liege. Do I say that? Is that something we say? I whisper
I
to my
love it.
friend.
I mean,
Okay. Sorry, my liege. We will, we're on the way. We got into a little accident. We can see it now, but we are walking, so we're just a little late. Please do not have me executed.
Wait, did you walk this whole time?
No, just the past 10 minutes or whatever, however long, 40. I don't know. I lose track. I'm hungry.
By the Emperor, that sounds like a bad time.
We saw a big sandworm, I think is the vibe we were going for, and then we ran into a shitty ditch. And we lost the car. If you could, I don't know if you send someone to pick it up or... Look, honestly, I'm just nervous. I think we're walking. We're just gonna be a little late. I'm sorry. Normally, I'm right on time for my appointments.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear that it makes me look bad.
Oh, no,
You don't want to make me look bad because that makes the Lord Inquisitor look bad. You don't want to make the Lord Inquisitor look bad, do you?
No, I don't. No. We're gonna be right there. We're moving pretty quick. But unfortunately, it's gonna be about another. I don't know, however long the GM says. Is that an hour? I'm not sure.
It's probably going to be about another hour.
It's gonna be about another hour.
Okay, well, I will tell the manager of the mine that he's going to be paid overtime this evening. And that will come out of your paycheck at the end of this, but that is the price you must pay.
Ooh, wait. I want to
His
try.
confidence in being right, he leans over closer to Dr. Acula and says, you could come pick us up? Is there another vehicle that could come collect us? That way we could be on time for this appointment?
No, the time has passed for being on time.
Can I...
Closer?
And the time for vehicle is also past, for the vehicle would arrive after you've arrived at the mines. I think it's best that you folks just trot along, as is your penance.
Can I offer him a massage as recompense instead of taking it out of our wages with manipulate someone?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me and manipulate someone. He says,
"Oh my god."
Yes, great. I would
Yes, no, I'd love to give you a massage in place of taking our wages. He says it just like that. It was a 3 + 2. Man, +2. 5. It's my 4th failure this session.
He says,
so much experience.
He says,
I, Primus Patchouli, have already employed the greatest masseuses on record.
Oh,
I find it insulting
Shit.
that one of my errand boys would offer such a thing. I'm going to deduct extra from your pay.
oh Christ! I don't want to take 1 damage of psychic damage for that. I thought I was good. Oh fuck!
Vern is no longer afraid, for he sees himself in Dr. Acula in this moment, and he just nods his head like, yeah, shit happens, man.
It's hard to stay out of prison.
Well, I guess I will go and smooth things over with the mining community, and you just get there when you get there. I pray for your sakes that the next update will be positive. Patchouli, over and out.
I'm basically not getting paid for this one.
Well, you're not. You're not for sure.
No, yeah. This is a freebie.
Maybe if there are any
D.O.G.
extra monsters we can slay, we might get paid in some food for the day.
Okay.
D.O.G. sat in stunned, horrified silence through that entire conversation that he just dumped on Acula. First of all, I would like to say just how very sorry I am for dumping that on you. That was my horrible phone call to have, and I gave it away.
I don't think I'll be talking on the phone anymore. That's a tough one.
He now has phone anxiety.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't want to be arrested.
Data slate anxiety is a very common ailment in the Imperium.
Vern does some gross dirt off and possibly shit off lapels of his trench coat. All right, well, after dogs, this is thought we better double down and power walk our way. I found that if you swing your arms in pace and you always make sure that your feet are touching the ground and you rock your foot heel to toe, I found that is a very efficient way of quickly getting from one destination to another. I'm quite an expert on walking, and so this is, I think, the best success.
Quick flashback to Vernon very quickly speed walking up and down through the hive cities, just straight through crowds like a spear.
Think like Power Mom around the cul-de-sac, just like so focused.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
His coat is flapping behind him. But yes, Dog, you had a thought before we take off here. No.
I totally spaced on it, imagining how poorly that piece of advice would work for a dog body.
Well, you got a robot body. Robots have legs.
A robot dog body with dog, ankles, not person ankles.
If you go on all fours, does that increase your speed?
I imagine that he's walking on all fours regularly, no? Okay.
Oh, I'm picturing
No, I'm just...
his highlights.
This has been a nightmare for you, I bet. I mean, it still is, but...
So he's down here!
Oh, man.
No.
That's ideal. That's perfect.
I didn't even have to write these horrible reveals. These just have happened.
I think that's a great moment to end that episode. Just on that, we can just roll into the mining colony next time. That is perfect. Oh my god.
Just for you, I will definitely be getting up on my hind legs from time to time.
Walking around like a human.
Might mistake you for a monster until you accidentally.
Accidentally.
Bipedal dog. Oh.
Bipedal
Very
meat
funny.
dog.
This will be my first forays into meat crime, up on my 2 legs.
Oh, I hate this.
So we power walk into the sunset. Fade to black.
Are we doing end of session? I mean, I don't know that we have them to do.
No, I don't think so. I mean, let me double check here. So no, we certainly didn't conclude the current mystery. In fact, we gave ourselves a bonus mystery here at the beginning.
We didn't do anything.
And we
crashed
failed.
the car.
We
Mystery
failed
of
that
finding the
mystery. Yeah, we failed that mystery pretty heavily.
Did we save someone from certain death or worse? Don't know. Those people died.
We watched.
I'd be like,
Did we learn something new and important about the world? Probably. I would give you an XP for that. There is something underground that is bad.
It's only an XP if we get 2 of these questions. Yes.
To be completely honest with you, we're just going to be throwing XP out I'm gonna try and get you guys at least leveled up once or twice by the end of this.
Oh, I'm already level 2.
Oh, you're already level 2. Great.
I am.
Yeah,
I don't think I made any
you had a
rolls
tough
last
session.
time.
Do what?
I don't think I made any rolls last time.
You
so I just had
slept
one
in the
XP.
car. Oh wait, no, you did. You made a roll to help me and failed. We both failed on trying to.
Yeah, you at least failed one roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
still
my
have
one
no
roll, that's
XP.
it. So.
And then did we learn something new and important about one of the hunters? Yeah, I would say we did. We learned that Dog is not bipedal. I think that constitutes. We learned a couple things. I
Yeah.
feel like in the course of this session.
I'll take an experience. Let's go.
Yeah, definitely give everybody an XP for that for end of session questions.
I can now shapeshift. That was the other one I was debating on, taking a shapeshifter. So I, for the rest of this walk towards the mining colony, shapeshift into a dog-shaped dog, a D.O.G. shaped dog, and walk just kind of behind him. This is out of respect, not out of mockery.
Bonkers.
I don't think D.O.G. loves that. Regardless of where it's from.
Well, and hopefully next time we'll be able to make it into the mines and start
the mystery.
One can only hope.
Dungeons, Dragons, and Dice, Children of the Stars is DM'd by Lawrence Jennings. The players this season are Dante Quiles playing Alice Bohomme, Gabe Stringer playing D.O.G. 24601, Grace Stringer playing Vernon Bradley, and myself, M. Williams, playing Dr. Strahd von Acula. Due to some scheduling snafus, the rest of Children of the Stars will release on a bi-weekly basis. This is just to ensure that there's no more major delays in production while we wrap up this season. After things resolve a bit, we will return to weekly releases. Make sure you go follow us on Instagram to keep up to date with the most recent clips, as well as any items, monsters, or maps for Dungeons & Dragons we may release. You can find us over there at DDADPOD, that's DDADPod. Next episode will be up November 23rd. See you then, folks.
All right, well, that's Acula. Dr. Acula.
Acula is the one who does the holding down.
Ooh. Ooh, don't. Ooh.
Quick,
There's-
somebody else talk. Quick. We need to change the
Somebody
subject.
else talk quick.
I don't know why you're making those sounds. Gets his sucks from touch.
He gets his sucky wuckies from touchy wutchies.
There's thin. Oh boy, there's
We're
thin
still talking
lines.
about it. Somebody else talk about their own character.
There's very
This
thin
sucks.
lines.
Oh no!
And that crossed it.
Psychic damage. So much.
Sucky
psychic
wuckies from
damage.
touchy wutchies.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just talking about Dr. Acula.
You talk about the Emperor with that mouth. God damn.